when it came to nuclear devices and things like that. I have no information, no knowledge about that, and I want to go
Yeah.
deep into that. So, what exactly were you guys talking about first?
So at the time, I was studying lead-cooled fast reactors,
Right.
but since then, I looked into very high-temperature reactors and sodium-cooled fast reactors and various fusions like magnetized target fusion and the arc reactor design.
Oh,
Okay. So, when we go into that, how does that differ from how we operate? When I say we all know what we means. How does the average person benefit from what you just spoke upon?
Well,
yeah. How do you think it would help?
so everything pretty much traces back to nuclear power. That's how so much electricity is being able to be provided for. So creating more efficient reactors. Okay, so the whole grid goes back to nuclear power plants. That's where all the power comes from.
Okay.
So better reactors means a better electrical grid for everybody else to use their devices and stuff.
Yeah. All right. So how would that could that translate into like vehicles and like lawnmowers, motorized lawnmowers and bikes and stuff like
Well, with vehicles, you'd be able to power more vehicles, larger vehicles, and it would be safer. You wouldn't have to rely on just electricity. Nuclear power, if it's secure enough and is designed well enough, could be impervious to outside influence. Unlike electricity, could be messed with via EMPs, which is a very viable threat.
that? Yeah. Right. So you're talking about like tractor trailers and stuff like that, hauling stuff.
Mm, more along the lines of water vehicles, like
Uh,
submarines, large water
Larger
ships,
bags.
naval
okay.
ships.
Now you got me thinking about farm vehicles and stuff like that. Would that be the next age into flying cars or something? You
Mm,
think?
that's more political. That's a whole cartel on vehicles and the oil. All these
Oh
oil-based
yeah.
vehicles could be replaced, but there's a lot of money in just gasoline itself, so you're taking away billions, trillions of dollars away from.
So this is something that's more independent as a okay, so when you say political, I get what you're saying. I believe I get what you're saying, bro. So this is something that's because it's so do you think this is something that we can do individually and we don't have to rely on people to we don't have to rely on outside sources to be able to power our endeavors as a whole. And this is why this goes into because the power that we have, and when I say power, I mean more so political power. The power that we hold is in the power we can generate, and that's a fact. We have China, we have the U.S., and we have Russia, and the land that we hold, of course, is valuable because, and Saudi Arabia as well, because of the amount of oil we can generate. Just like Venezuela, a lot of the South American countries are impoverished because I'm just gonna say it. The Europeans depleted them.
That's exactly what
Wait,
they
wait, wait,
did.
wait.
I guess.
Okay, that's cool. The The fact of the matter is, a lot of things have gone on in the South Americas because they depleted them of their resources and they just left them with nothing to eat, with no legs to stand on, and this is why uh, a lot of imbalances are introduced to this world. So nuclear power is going to be the great equalizer. Is that what you're saying?
Now I'm thinking like, so what would make hydrogen? Because I heard hydrogen power is like a thing too, at some like a while ago. You know anything about hydrogen power? Like,
Yes, hydrogen, deuterium, and tritium are hydrogen isotopes, and that's commonly used in fusion reactors. Magnetized target fusion for one, inertial confinement fusion, it's in magnetized liner inertial fusion, and various other fusions that are pretty important technologies and worth looking at.
all right, so that hey, that sounds like we nerding out right now, bruh.
That's a fact, and I have no idea what is going on. But so, going back to the question, so is the power that you're speaking on, is that the great equalizer? Do you think? You probably already answered that, but it probably went over my head.
Yeah,
You
it
think
is
that
an
was
equalizer.
the end all beat all?
Pretty much. Pretty much. So what's stopping? What is actually stopping the technology and the what is what's keeping everyone from going to that place,
It's a couple things. Politics,
right?
for one,
Hmm.
in the 50s, they're researching uranium and thorium. I mentioned this before. And thorium research got scrapped totally in the 50s when DC found out that uranium could be weaponized, and they're in their office like, oh no, uranium, this is it. Forget about thorium. And mind you, uranium reactors cost millions of dollars to make, while the liquid thorium reactor costs 10 to 20,000 to make.
So are there any nations that are actually playing with this type of technology, like heavily?
Masons? Oh
Nations, not masons.
yeah. Yeah, it's researched heavily in Europe.
Right.
Russia, China's getting up on it, and America, but America's reactors are more based on the boiling water reactor designs.
Right.
Germany, they tend to, when they find out stuff, like there's this heat power technology I was looking on online, they tend to use it. Where somewhere like here, we would find out something and we would just stick with what we're using because it would cost quite a bit to replace the 140 plus nuclear reactors here in this nation.
Okay, so Stats actually used to live in Florida, and he was telling me that there were a lot of nuclear, or a couple nuclear plants where he lived, and they were pretty much based by the water. Is there any correlation to, should people be concerned that there are a lot of nuclear power plants in the water, by the water, where they live or where they are around?
No, nuclear accidents aren't as bad as it may seem. In Fukushima, for example, no one died in that accident.
Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
because that would have been my next point. Is I heard that in Japan that the fish, they couldn't really eat the fish, and something like that was going on. Something was going on with the environment, with the fish and stuff like that. So yeah. Did you know anything about that?
Yeah, so there's a couple types of nuclear accidents. For one, nuclear meltdowns, where the heat exceeds the amount of heat that's being removed. Heat generated, heat being removed, so it overheats. And it starts corroding the reactor and it starts spreading. And then there's loss of coolant accident, where coolant water isn't being supplied as much as it needs to be. Thus, it starts creating problems leading to overheating. But Fukushima in particular, they were researching a new type of reactor. Like other nations, they research and implement it more. Whereas research here, it's more I just put it out there and just don't popularize it as much as you'd see on their YouTube channels, like Japan. Even China, they have some more, and mind you, China doesn't really put info out like that. So for them to do that just tells you how much heavy here it's not being touched on as much as it should be. But yeah, it's not, nuclear accidents aren't as bad as it's hyped up to be. It's not a massive H-bomb going off and annihilating everything in the vicinity.
So, when it comes to, do you care to touch on what your purpose is in the military and why people should or should not join the military? Because I do want to talk about other things that I do want to go a little bit deeper as far as, things.
You're in the military?
Yeah, so I was in the army.
Oh shit, man.
Well, my purpose individually, I feel like it's a great outlet and a great way to develop myself into a man.
Right.
And it makes me a stronger individual. Growth. Putting me in
That's what I
uncomfortable
was gonna
positions.
go in there for. My bad.
Yeah, because when
Keep going for it, yeah.
an individual, when you place them in uncomfortable positions, there's only a couple ways it could turn out. Either fizzles out or they grow. And I want to grow. Those uncomfortable situations is what makes the best of people. Diamonds are only made under pressure.
Right, I heard that. You heard that?
I did. You know what? I don't want to go. I don't want to go too, because this is, well, shit. Let's fuck it. I was talking to. I don't know if you saw my live a little bit earlier, but me and Blue were talking about how people in the military pretty much are militarized. They're turned into weapons, and they teach you. They pretty much reprogram you and what they call repurpose you, and they put you back into American society, and they expect you to. They hold you to a higher standard. And when you react to situations as a civilian or just as a normal human being, you are pretty much persecuted as a normal human being when you should not be. And I think personally, and we both agreed at that point, that personally, if anything happens and there is, if this becomes a problem because of what the military trains you to do, you should be policed differently when it comes to people having, well, okay, pretty much what she said was being in the military, okay, is the same thing as being institutionalized. The only way you're going to be a good soldier or a good warrior is if you are institutionalized. So she was saying that you get put in the military, they turn you into a weapon, and they expect you to act as if nothing ever happened. So, what is your opinion on that?
Well, that is a very broad question. Different individuals handle different situations
Right.
according to what's in their toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
View said situation. How do they usually respond to things in life? Habits, small habits is what determines the outcome of larger situations.
Facts. Yeah.
So, a lot of the individual experience comes into play, their mindset too, because you could take someone, place them in 100 crappy situations, they turn out normal. Mm-hmm. Take person B, put them in a couple mild situations, and all hell breaks loose.
Facts. I get you. So I know a couple people. I'm just gonna speak on this one person. They got out the army, or they might be still active. I don't know exactly. But now the person has anger problems. Now the person has alcohol problems. Well, yeah, you already spoke on that. You touched on that. But anyway, what is your? We spoke on this privately. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But what do you feel about combining technology with a realm that everybody does not have access to? Do you think that's something that the average person should do? Because it's, in my opinion, of course, we have all this technology because people are fucking lazy. Because everybody doesn't want to sit down and meditate. If this was fucking 3089 BC, we would just be in our separate realms meditating and having this conversation, and everybody wouldn't, or they might know about it just because of the energy we're putting out. Telephones, a lot of these technologies we have is because people don't want to tap in to their natural abilities and to their nature. Just like Stat said, the more that we go into technology, the further we get away from nature. So us combining nature, spirituality, and technology, it is really taking us to a place. What? How do you? What do you think about that?
And that really goes down. Oh my God.
No, go ahead, bro.
It really goes down to basically. At the end of the day, it sounds like it's going to come down to human choice, and not letting it come down to something. But I want to hear his point. Yeah.
You brought it up, bro. I want you to speak on that because this statement is based on a conversation you and I had, bro. So I want you to speak on it.
Yeah.
I want you to speak on it, bro, and just really present that because you really go into it. You feel me?
Well,
yeah.
Technology and spirituality.
Right.
That's something. And how can someone use it to tap into a realm they don't really have access to? Well, a couple things to that. Technology and spirituality serve the same function, just a different outlet per se.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like fitting an electrical engine in a regular car that uses gas. Yeah, but you wouldn't really need both. You just need the pros and advantages of both while mitigating for the cons and disadvantages.
Yeah.
Well, the pros and advantages of technology: better management, energy management, navigation, it's safer, spirituality, precision, more personalized experience. So you combine the pros and advantages of both: better navigation and a personalized experience, technology and spirituality.
Technology. I mean, when we have technology is very impersonal because all three of us, from my understanding, are 90s babies. When I was growing up, we didn't have texting. So for somebody to text me happy birthday, like obviously I'm an emotional ass person. If you text me happy birthday and I know you on a personal level, I'm gonna feel disrespected because you know me. So for you to just separating the body from the body, having that hormonal connection with the person, knowing that just on a basic level, just everyday communication, even if it's not your body at least. Let me hear your voice tell me happy birthday. Just on a basic level. So I do. Everybody wants that personality. Everybody wants that touch. Everybody wants those senses. The more senses, of course, the better. Because interaction is our basic function. The only reason that we are at the top, the only reason that we are the best is because we adapt the best. And the only reason we adapt the best is because we communicate with all five senses and more. So if we take this technology and we replace it, if we take our spirituality and we put technology in place, then I think that is a breakdown. Like I had to do an assignment when I was in fourth grade. I was still in Chicago. The assignment was, do you think that human beings, and this was a real, this is some shit that Stats would do in his school, because he's gonna open up a law school for children, actually. Do you think that human beings are eventually going to start walking on their knuckles and knees again because we are not communicating how we used to? As uh, I can't remember the year, but do you think that humans are going to revert to our original posture as, I don't remember the species before Homo sapiens, whatever the fuck the species was. So this was a that sparked that thought about that assignment. And people were saying, "Oh no, we're not gonna revert to this because this and this and this," and I'm just thinking like, we are going backwards. We are taking everything outside of ourselves that makes us beautiful people with this technology. We are Human beings are becoming more narcissistic with more social media. Human beings with all this desensitization, being desensitized to seeing people being murdered online easily without any censorship is making us worse as a people. More telephones, more lines, more. I'm not gonna go into the 5G. I don't know shit about 5G, and I'm okay with that. But technology, in my opinion, is making shit worse. It's making it too easy to be less of a person. It's taking our chakras away. Fuck that shit. It's becoming weird. I'm gonna say it like this, bro. It's becoming
Yeah.
weird to walk up to a woman and say, "Hey, I like how you look. You smell good. And you look like you should be with me at some point. Let me get your number and let's do what we need to do. Let's figure that out." That's
Yeah, she
weird
got the
now.
good her.
That's weird. Now, like my first indication was when I kept walking up to women and I said, "Let me get your number." My number? But you can have my Snapchat, or you can have my Facebook, or you can have my Instagram. I'm like, bitch, I don't want your motherfucking Instagram or your Snapchat. I don't got Instagram. I don't got Snapchat, and I don't got Facebook. Let me get your number. Your number. Like in the night, like on Martin. Like on. You feel me?
But
Like on.
like I said earlier, I think around when we began,
Right.
started this conversation, fucking that it's all gonna boil down to like human choice and how we use this stuff. If we allow it to keep getting closer to us, then
Culture.
that's what's happening. You're right. You don't have to as an individual, succumb to all the technology and being in your phone 24/7 and shit. Like, you don't have to do that, but it's being pushed in your face. Um, I think it all just boils down to human choice. Like choice.
Choice. So looting. So stats. When you go to, I want you to fucking talk about the shit we talk about, bro, cause you go in, bro. I really want you to put that fire, bro. I want you to put that fire in there, man. We got two Aries and a Taurus, two Martians and a Taurus. So
I mean,
something, man. You go in, bro. You say some profound shit, my guy. That's why I brought you on here, bro. Because the people need to use your information, bro. So, what do we usually talk about? Fucking.
Like a lot of technology is basically, I think, is basically just a mimic of the human body, or what we can do already.
Exactly.
That's what I think. Like a car is basically like somebody running. You know what I mean?
The
Like
engine
the
is the
function of
digestive
running
system.
got
Exactly.
gotten captured into a fucking machine. Um, like a computer is like a brain. My bad.
Facts. It's just echoing. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm holding it too close to the other phone. But I do.
And that's another way that I think that it can consume us, and it probably will consume us later on down the line when we all become cyborgs. No.
So you want to have a daughter, bro? If you were to have a daughter right now, if the many women that you have told you you had a daughter, what would you? How would you instruct her to use this technology as far as her protection? What would you do?
Shit, research. And a lot of research is gonna be hands on. You know what I mean? I would want the research to be a lot more hands on than anything else.
I see you, man.
But
I get you. I
yeah,
get you. So going forward, we have spirituality. We have technology. I do want to. I do want people to be able to get specific knowledges and understand that there is a specific vibration that we do need to go on. We do marketing, of course. The president is not the president without motherfucking marketing. The president is not the. Everybody calls him whatever they want to say. I'm not a Trump supporter at all.
yeah,
I'm not a anti-Trumper either. I'm on the middle path. But the president is only the president because he's a master negotiator. I'm not gonna take anything away from him, and I'm not gonna call him a motherfucking idiot, and I'm not gonna say the nigga's a genius. But I read a lot of his books, and I have a lot of his books in my house right now. He is where he is because of basic human function, and he did what he has to do with technology. Now, if Kanye or whoever wanted to do what they wanted to do with that, if Dave wanted to be the president, he could easily become the president as long as he was born in this. Well, you don't even have to be because I don't know what Obama. I don't know, but it's really when it
yeah,
comes to my whole thing is when it comes down to technology, it's all based off just like you said, basic human behavior, basic human function, and knowing how to work the people. So at the end
yeah,
of the day, a lot of that shit doesn't even matter. You do have to have a lot, not some, a lot of understanding on how people work, how emotions work, how these basic chemicals affect the brain, affect the digestive system, even how there's the same fluids in the spine that we have in our brain. Certain trigger words, just like, bro, you have to. Everybody that's watching this, you might love me, you might hate me, but you do have to study Donald Trump. You have to study him. If you hate the motherfucker so much, study why the fuck you hate him. Stop being so goddamn stupid. If he's so stupid, bitch, why the fuck aren't you president? If he's so goddamn dumb, study him. It'll benefit you in every way. But
yeah.
like I was saying, mind control. He says things that immediately confuse the mind. The more confusion, the better. Because when you confuse the mind, that's when you can plant the seeds. Because we have something called the reptilian brain. And the function, one of the main functions of the reptilian brain is to filter what information goes into the left brain and what information goes into the right brain. So if I say D, what's one plus one?
Yeah,
4, right?
yeah, it's four,
Exactly
man.
5. because you like
It's
exactly.
too many fours, man.
That's why because I'm the best person that you ever met in my life ever, and you need to vote for Donald Trump. Exactly. That's how he speaks, bro. But he doesn't do it like that. He does it so and I'm like, bro, this nigga's a genius. If you watch how he does it,
Bro.
I'm like, this nigga is bro, he does this shit so crazy. I'm like and they're like, I can't believe he said that. Let me go on my little blog. Like, you're stupid as fuck. You're spreading his fucking propaganda. You dumb motherfucker. You're making more people vote for him. Are you stupid? That's, bro, that's what rappers do. That's what people do that, and people don't see it because they don't read. Because reading is a fucking foreign language. I don't get it, bro. You do have the technology. We have the word knowledge and technology for a reason. We do have to understand basic human functions. That was my whole point. That was my whole point.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. The natural human function, because
Exactly. With
it's
exactly.
it's like you have to have that balance on shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Scrambled exactly.
And that's kind of what the whole human choice thing would be. Like if I would want to manipulate, I would want to manipulate for the better, and to not do as much, or be hands on with anything really, or even have to control really much, or anything, because everything will fucking lean into where it needs to be after a certain point. Once people feel like there's some sort of way or system that's naturally in place, or something like that, or that arises other than the one that's up right now, because this shit, minus all this dumb shit going on, that shit needed to be changed a long time ago. Like
Like yesterday.
I don't know how all this shit got to the point where a sociopath. I can't even. I'm not even gonna say that shit, bro. I really don't know.
Say it. Fuck
But
that
I know a
shit,
lot
bro.
of people in fucking business. They cold as shit. You know what I mean? Like they would care less about the actual community. You know what I mean? They just want their bottom line, because a corporation literally, as a person, only has no moral to anything else. It's just money. How can they make more money? Can they manipulate the people in some sort of way to get more money with their product that usually might be needed sometimes? Um, it's just interesting how when you hit on that in advertisements and stuff like that, it kind of bleeds into other things in decision making, where it's like the next person is making your decisions.
That's the whole point. It's a business is a
All the time.
lifestyle. Just like how you broke down to me, America is a corporation. It's not a motherfucking company. It's not a country. It's a company. It's a fine line. So America is about just like schools. America is about building the lifestyle to build defense. The best, the best defense is defense. The best defense. It's like in the 48 Laws of Power. You could think what you want to think, but you can't act how you want to act. That's two different things. So you have to really have a specific type of mental defense, and the best type of mental defense is to be able to to be able to mask your immediate receptivity, because the more intelligent you are, the more easily manipulated you are, because a stupid person can be manipulated as well as somebody who has a higher IQ or somebody who's receptive to information. You get me? So you do have to be able to. I can't say you can turn your intellect down, but you do have to be able to meditate your way the fuck out of that shit, bro. Because hella people say shit to me, and I'm like, nigga, what? You think I'm You don't think I'm as fast as I am. You don't think I'm as on it as I am. But you do have to be able to manipulate your own consciousness, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Consciousness.
And the best way to manipulate your own conscience is to figure out
Is to put you
what is to figure out how you act, like figure out who you are.
exactly facts, bro.
Because you know that the stuff that you might so called get tricked on, that's what you need to focus on, is like what how does your brain work? Like kind of think of yourself in the third person
Exactly.
and think, oh why am I acting so all types of stuff. It sounds like it's too much. But like
It's not. You just gotta know what the fuck. You just have to be really defensive mentally. TBH, bro. You just have to know
yeah.
what. Cause people, just like when I was at that other job a couple years ago, he was saying shit to me, and I was like, nigga, I'm not that, bro. Stop. I know I. Just people just yeah, the whole business thing, bro. So when it comes to business, Dave, what do we do? Do you think that there we're gonna come because business from where I from my spiritual beliefs, business comes from an African goddess named Ajay, Age. She was born of the ocean. You meditate on the ocean. She was born from the relationship between the full moon and the beach, and she came out and she blessed the African people with two knowledges: how to use money and how to use business. What do you think? Do you think business and society can ever be peaceful as one? Do you think it's always going to be, as stats described, sociopic and sociopathic? Do you think that there's ever going to be a place where business is going to fit into our society without there being any more destruction?
Well, destruction is inevitable. There'll always be destruction. The problem with it now, I like to use the concept of living time from Halo. So basically, joy, war, death, murder, love, sex, playing sports, sleeping, all of that is a part of the collective experience of the universe existence. That's not detrimental as it may seem, but excessive amounts of it and unneeded amounts is what causes a disturbance. So there's always going to be some type of imbalance. There's going to be the ones that are just stronger, whether it be spiritually or physically or with science, and those are going to be the people at top, and then it's going to be everyone else that does what the people at top tell them because they're smarter and stronger. It's always been like that. It's just now it's reversed. It's the most dumbest people you could find telling everyone else what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit,
because you really don't have to be. Success is not contingent on your intellect. It's really contingent on your willpower and your ability pretty much to get things done. Willpower is actually the biggest determiner of success. It used to be, they used to market the fact that creativity and hard work is what made you successful, which that was pretty much for the most part, that was true up until the 90s. But now they're saying willpower and self knowledge is the biggest determiner of success. Before it was creativity, it was IQ, intelligence, it was what the fuck else did they say? Oh, networking, being social, things like that. But now we're in the age of willpower, oddly enough, when it seems like willpower is the smallest thing that you need to have. I'm gonna unlock this room and see if anybody else wants to come in here. Oh, I can share my screen, bitch ass niggas. I didn't know I could do that. This is some new technology, guys. So I didn't know I could do that. All right, so we're gonna open the room
I
and
want to talk on that Elon Musk JRE podcast.
what about it? Go ahead, shoot your shot.
Like Elon Musk is fucking doing a lot of shit. Like when it comes down to like technology, space, the Neuralink, cars, the fucking Cybertruck. I want to talk about that. I don't know what I want to talk about that on. I'll figure it out.
So stats, what is the whole reason? I don't know if you still want to join the Air Force or not, but what exactly would be your goal as far as you joining the Air Force?
Shit, I really wanted to join just so I could fly them fast ass fucking jets. I just wanted to fucking go fast, you know what I
That's
mean?
real, bro. That's real. That's real. I really wanted to be the same shit, bro. Like not the exact same. I really just wanted to get the bread, bro. And because I knew, I thought it would be easy, but shit happens. But I do want everybody to know that we really need to be building nations at this point. I do want people to understand what I'm doing on a smaller level. I'm not Young Pharaoh. I'm not here to. And shout out to Young Pharaoh, bro. I don't know if you watch Young Pharaoh, but you do need to watch his the new video he put out that went viral. His second video, I believe, that went viral, over 1 million views in about 3 days. He killed it. I'm proud of him. I do want people to build their nation building skills. I want people to build their nation building knowledges. I do want people to understand that it's not a joke. Life is not the movies anymore. It's not Soldier Boy tell 'em world anymore. We do need to be building these nation building knowledges. We do understand that we are under attack right now. It's not fun anymore. You can't do what you want to do like you thought you could. You can't do it like you used to do it anymore. We do need to be very vigilant. We do need to be very militant. We do need to understand that we need to have an outstanding understanding when it comes to our survival. If everything goes away tomorrow, tonight, we do need to be able to collect ourselves with a very, very, very small amount of emotion and a lot of knowledge. So, when it comes to nation building skills, what do you guys consider nation building skills?
Well,
Um,
uh, this is where nuclear power is pretty significant because right now there's a lot of people. See, nature doesn't keep what it doesn't need. So it's
Right.
not going to keep a bunch of people if it doesn't need it. That's nature. As loving as the grass may seem, and the bees, and insects and germs, there's a reason for it. It's just not there for art. It serves a function. And people
Mm-hmm.
are no different. A bunch of people not serving a function, nature doesn't need it. But that builds on something, though. That's why nuclear power, with as many people as there are now, and the amount of power it's able to produce, it produces pretty much enough for everyone. So even if you were to take a fraction of that, like 25% of the population, and you're to design reactors that power generate 4 times more power than it generates right now, that's looking at 8 to 16 times more power. So that is nation building, because what if it's very cold, the electricity doesn't work, and
Right.
gasoline is not as abundant as nuclear power is, doesn't even hold a candle. Mechanical energy doesn't produce as much power as it needs to. So, power, infrastructure, and science, medicine, physics, computers, and education too. Just not teaching it for nothing, but knowing how to combine it properly. Because it's like teaching a bunch of different chemicals. All right, beryllium, zirconium, actinides, plutonium. All right, but what does that do? Oh, it serves a function. This is how it could be used.
Right.
So
that goes back to that. My bad. Keep going.
I was gonna ask you about the school you're gonna open, bro. The law school for the children. Because
Yeah.
I was gonna consider that.
That goes back to that. Like, I think that I want to open a school that would allow like kids as like pre-K, kindergarten, on through there to kind of like get into law and I guess tilling the land, learning how to farm and stuff, and little stuff like that that I could intertwine to progress what I think would be a generation.
A generational UNL, bro.
Of well-versed people, especially in a system where it's kind of, to me, it's like you have to understand you have to know the law to abide by the law, right?
Right.
So why not learn it at a younger age, just so it will be like, kind of stuck in their head somewhat, even if they don't use it, it's just like, hey, it could progress them in some way. I find it funny that you have to go to college and pay all this money just to learn law when the second you hop on this earth, you already like
subject
bound
to
by law.
Facts.
So why not learn it young? That's kind of like the common sense thing to me. Like if you're hungry, right? You at least learn how to plant something, or something, like learn how to nurture something to gain whatever human necessity you need to gain, like sort of in a survival sense.
What's cool that I think you taught me, bro. Over the years, you did teach me that the government is essentially stepping into the place to be our parents. And I think that parenting is very important. And if you don't, just like we teach our children in the black community, if you don't teach your motherfucking child how to behave, the judge will. So you need to understand how to parent so your motherfucking kids don't go to jail. Just, I don't know if anybody watching this understands the black community, but it's fucked up. I'm gonna say this. The ultimate goal for a black parent is for their child to not be going through the system. Ultimately, one of the things is very important. So for us to learn the law, number one, for us to have these systems in place, just like you told me, you being born in an impoverished area is the first step in being born into the system. Being in the hood, as they call it, is essentially the first step in you being in the penitentiary because that's a statistic.
Environment.
Exactly. You become a statistic. That's what happens. So us learning the law, us having a system that is not immediately our parent, which is the policyholders, the police, the village, with us being able to hold our ground and understand what we're doing at a young age from not from outside energies that have nothing to do with our culture. The police and dying death should not be a part of our culture because that's not what we are. That's not what we come from. We don't come from death. We don't come from that. We don't. So the fact that death and dying from the policy holders killing us, nigga, that's not a part of the plan. So we do need to change how we put. Just like I told you, back in the day before heroin hit the inner urban communities. We used to actually knock on people's doors and pay our own taxes in Chicago. We used to, hey, do you got that $20? Well, it was the equivalent to $20, and we would pay people to walk around with shotguns on their backs, AK-47s or AR, whatever they had back then, and walk around just like they do in
That's
Chicago right
crazy.
now, and make sure people who don't live there don't come in the community. Just like if you go to 83rd and Elizabeth right now, you can't do that because they're gonna pat you down, ask you why you are here, who do you know, and make you lift up your shirt just like the police. Lift your shirt up from the collar. Make sure you don't have a gun. See what kind of drugs you have. Run your pockets, and let you go on about your day if you seem legit. If not, it's not gonna go well for you. That's why they function like that right now. Why do you think there's no Crips and Bloods in Chicago? Why do you think there's not a meth problem in Chicago? Why do you think there's a lot of things that happen in a lot of other people's cities that don't happen in Chicago? Because that's where we came from, bro. If we still had that same mind, but without turn the police off for 10 years and see what the fuck happens. We don't need them. I'm not saying that we should do anything violent or anything like that, but there's a hashtag going on right now. It's trending. Defund the police. Do we really need these people? Do I really want somebody who doesn't care about my child policing my child wherever he goes? He's gonna grow up one day. He's gonna be bigger than me. He's gonna be stronger than me. He's gonna be smarter than me. Hopefully, that's the goal. Do I really want somebody doing something to my child unless I would do that same thing to him? No. If I did, then I would put that energy out there, but nobody does. Nobody puts that energy out there. Do you want somebody policing your child that has nothing to do with his personal growth and development? Do you? Do you want somebody outside your community? Just like when people come over you, when you were a little kid, I'm pretty sure everybody went over your friend's house and you got in some shit, and you're like, oh damn, their parents gonna hit me. We all have a we all have an understanding. Don't hit that person's child because that's not your child. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Return that person back to their kid exactly how you found them. That's a part of the program. But the fact that we have all these outside energies touching us is a problem. Am I saying that we need to separate ourselves? I'm saying that we need to understand that we all need to have an outstanding understanding that we do not need to be influencing each other if we do not want to be influenced in that same way. And if separation is the goal, and if that's going to make us a stronger people together, then that's the goal, and that needs to happen. That's what I'm saying. I think we need to
I can
we need
get
to
you.
go back, let nature do what the fuck it's supposed to do. Stop going against goddamn
Yeah,
nature, dude. What the fuck? What are you doing? What is everybody
yeah.
doing, bro? It's sad.
I'm not gonna go into that whole conspiracy shit neither. Like, hey, but yeah, change it. A lot of people don't like change. I
We're
think,
not supposed to. Well, we're
you know,
programmed
I
for
think
change.
like kids don't like change. I mean, like humans don't really like change.
Kobe. Ooh. Hey,
It's traditions and shit.
we need to move to Florida. We need to get big ass guns, and we need to shoot people in the face when they fuck with us. That's what I'm doing. Fuck that shit. I'm a felon with no options. Fuck that. Florida said I can get guns. I'm getting guns. But yeah, man, I can't join the army. That's okay. I can read books about the army, and I can practice everything I need to practice. Just like if the cartel can do it and they can take over the world, look what Mexico did. Look what Brazil did. Look what motherfucking Colombia did. They took over the world with the drug. I can take over the world with my mind. It's simple. My mind's much more potent than some fucking cocaine. And it's not illegal.
You know, the funny part about saying take over the world is that,
I didn't say that. I
yeah,
didn't
the
say all
funny
that.
part
Go ahead.
about that is I think there's a spot for everybody to take over the world in some sense.
Right.
You know, like not necessarily like watch you do this and you do that, you do this and not like that, but just more like an influence, whether the choice be negative or positive, to change the world. Therefore, be in charge of their own world, which is the world.
Marketing is life. Influence, psychology, all of those things, bro. That's why I have all these people on my wall. Vlad TV, Givenchy, Diamonds, Mercedes, Nipsey Hussle, Papa Legba, Ma'at, and Nana, Soldier Boy, Kurt Cobain, 3 6 Mafia, the ancestors, the real
What's the
ancestors.
deal?
Bro, look at how complex this equation is.
Dude, that looks like some. You gotta
Oh
watch.
shit!
That's awesome.
It must look crazy.
That is. Wait, let me see it again. That looks like some sigils and such.
No, that's a legit math equation. I don't know. When I first saw it, I was like, what the hell is that?
That's definitely fucking sigil, and it looks like DNA. Are you? That's what?
That's an equation.
Bro, see, that's why you gotta hop on the book.
Yeah,
Bro.
that was like it.
No, that shit looks crazy, bro. That nigga, what's his name? Tony Roberts. He was like, you ever had your child come home with a math equation so hard you put him on punishment?
Oh, God.
Like, now you trying to trick me? Go in your room. Motherfucker must think I'm dumb.
Oh, man. What you done with that homework?
Nah, yeah, see? I get it, man. I understand. I understand what you're saying, bro. It must. I know some people. What was her name? The one that you were going back and forth with Space. I'm gonna get her on live. You know how I do. I'm gonna snatch her up. I'm gonna get her on live one day. Just go to that same post and comment again, and I'm gonna find it. Oh, it was about Space. I'll find it, and I'll get her on here. But everybody's booed up right
Who,
now.
me?
Nah. It was some.
Oh.
I think she was from Michigan too. She looked like she like she was nice looking. I'm gonna get her on here. Everybody can see this, so I wanna shout that out. It's not like I didn't close the room. The room's open. Everybody can see this. I did tell some people to come on. They didn't want to come on, but yeah, it is what it is. So today is the 7th. I'm about to go outside. Fuck the curfew. Bro, oh, you were there when I fucking
That's that curfew shit.
nigga, when I went live and they closed the bridges, bruh. I almost shit on this. And everybody was like, swim across the river, Aaron. Can you swim? I'm like, I'm not about to motherfucking swim across this dirty ass river.
Better swim, nigga.
I'm gonna just wait it out. And the bridge is still up. The bridge is still up. They never let the bridge down. They really don't want people to go to that part of the city, which is unfortunate. But according to my FBI documents, we've been on here for about more than an hour. All right.
Fuck, according to my FBI documents.
It's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. So who do we have on here? I know everybody's vaginas are so wet. So who do we have? All you wet vagina people. Who was on here? Comment. I know your vagina's so wet. Just let me know. Who's on here? Oh, we lost followers. Good. Oh, my vagina's not wet. Yes, it is. I can smell it. Let me inhale it, baby. It's okay. I don't give a fuck. Fuck y'all niggas. I do what I want to do. It's ceremony.
Damn.
Abundance mindset.
Exactly. Gang. Red pill. Take it or not.
Black pill.
What does that mean?
Basically, black pill said, just fuck it. I'm gonna just be in my own tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. That's good. I mean, that makes sense. Is that what I am? Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. I'll say that. I'm trying to get some clout pill. That's all it is. Clout top.
Clout.
Clout. Purge. Bang, 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 bang. It's the purge. That's his favorite song, bro. You never heard that song. It's on YouTube right now. It slaps, bro. I called the purge right before it happened. Months before all this bullshit happened. I made a song called Purge. It's on YouTube. I should play that bitch. That should be my intro. I should make a whole beat to that song, bro. What would you do? Shoot a nigga in his face. She institutionalized as fuck. All she do is Nah, but I do make intellectual music to stimulate the mind. I do make fucking racist ass, fucked up ass music. I made a song called Kill Your Teacher. It's about, killing your teacher. But it's very metaphorical though. A lot of people don't understand my music. And that's okay. Like I made a whole mixtape called Bodies. And it's an intellectual drill music song. It's really the whole message is to not gangbang if you're not a gangbanger. But I made it to motivate people. You gotta listen to it. It's complicated because people don't understand my music, and that's okay. It's not for everybody. The Purge is about when this whole thing. I didn't even know about all this coronavirus type shit until right before my birthday. I didn't even know about coronavirus until March 13th, 2 days before the Bone Thugs concert. And that was the last concert that ever happened in Illinois. I didn't know. And after that, that same day, literally, niggas tried to fucking organ harvest me. If you go back on my page, March 15th, niggas gave me 7 hits of acid, hella molly, beer, henny, money, gamble, and they were really trying to drug me up to take my organs, bro. And I escaped it because they thought I was 23 or some shit for some reason. And they thought if they keep pumping me with drugs, I would just pass out and do some weird shit to me. But it's I'm from Atlanta. We grew up on drugs, so that's what we do. So I walked home with my cup of Henny. Bro, the craziest thing about it is I did have that cup of Henny. I came back with more money, Molly. A lot of Molly. Not a little bit, a lot. And the Henny, bro, the shit was eating through the cup. They put something in that Henny, bro. And when I sipped it, it was weird. They drugged me, bro. They drugged me. But because my willpower, because I'm an Aries gang member, god damn, I fought it. I just knew. I swear to God, but you think it's funny. It's funny, but they really tried to get me, bro. And I cried, nigga. I was really distraught. That's the last time I talked to my son's mother. For real. And then the coronavirus thing happened. And, because when I looked at the cup, bro, that shit, Hennessy does, for anybody who doesn't know what Hennessy does, I'm going to tell you rule number 1. Hennessy does not melt plastic cups. Hennessy does not do that. It will never do that. And it has never done that in the history of Hennessy. Trust me. I have Hennessy stocks. They're $175. Hennessy is owned by Louis Vuitton. Hennessy does not eat through plastic cups. I promise you. But when I looked at this cup, I was like, what the fuck did they put in my drink? They really tried to get me, bro. And that's why I pray every day. That's why I stack my money up And I pray and I thank because Aaron Moses might not be alive right now if I was not raised in Atlanta and I did not have this immune system and all this beautiful ass melanin in my neural system. It would not happen. And the last thing I want to say, because I do want to close this out, because everybody has lives, everybody has women, they need to put some big dick in. I do want to say, whenever you feel positivity, put that shit in your nervous system. Put your positivity in your pineal gland. Smile at your organs. Smile. And if you don't want to smile, do it the fucking way. Smile at your brain. Smile at your lungs. Smile and direct your energy with the breath. That's why I call my brand Life is in the Breath, because all things are controlled with the breath. Breathe your happiness into your organs. If you want to beat any addiction, if you think nicotine is stronger than your mind, it's not. If you think cocaine, heroin, alcohol, weed, a lot of people are addicted to weed, Percocets, opiates, opioids. Smile at your pineal gland. Listen, put on some good Gunna. Put on some good Beethoven. Put on some good Nas. Listen to my voice. You could go to Stats and listen to him speak about his speeches. Go to his Twitch. Listen to him. Listen to Dave speak on nuclear physics. Speak on the positivity that he has to offer to the world. Whatever you have that makes you happy, tap into that without any discretion. And I want you to put that positivity, that love into your brain. Learn how to direct that energy. Just like how you want to punch somebody in the face. Tap into that happiness. Because your nerves, your brain is what keeps you beautiful. A lot of people want to put their energy into their genetics. A lot of people want to put their energy into their sexuality. A lot of people want to put their energy into their money. Put your energy into your nerves. Put that smile at yourself. Smile in yourself. Tell yourself that you are the one. Tell you. Because you are the one. Because we're all one. If I know I'm the one, motherfucker, I know you're the one. It's easy. It's simple math. And math is the DNA of life. And science is the DNA of existence. So know that the only thing that keeps you here is your own happiness. And when that goes away, you go away. Life is in the breath. Okay?
I want to add one thing very quickly before this closes out.
Fact. Go ahead, bro. Everybody.
So nuclear power right now is like Bitcoin in like 2015, a couple years, 2-3 years before it popped. It was down like 400 or 500 Bitcoin. Then it went up to 21,000 a Bitcoin. But the information is the dollar amount. The value of information and its relevance to the people is the dollar amount. So right now it's like Bitcoin in 2015, and after some time will be like Bitcoin in 2017. That's all I wanted to add. Nuclear power.
Information technology.
Make some money.
So D, I know a lot of ladies want to slide in your inbox, your DEM. They wanna get some emoji. They wanna send you some heart eye emojis. What do you have? What advice when it comes to happiness? Continuing.
You can catch me at www.irinthestreet.com.
Facts.
Or that. You know.
Dot. Use a flip. Alright, that's cool. Everybody's doing drugs right now. That's good. Drugs are good. And if you have kids, make sure you tell them to do drugs and stuff. And rob liquor stores and all that good stuff. And do crimes and stuff. All that. Alright, it's Aaron Moses. I'm the bang, you the bang. Life is in the breath. We the bang TV, man. I love you. You know why I love you? Because you're sexy. Just like me. Just like Daddy Ty. Now go give me that money. Go back on the stroll. Go back. Go back. Go get the money. Go get the money. Get the money. Get the bag. So we can learn together. That's it. Peace. Ha, look at the lips.